Bonjour à tous. Bonjour, bonjour. Glad to be here again on Thursday. And I'm going to be inviting here my dear friend and colleague. So if you just bear with me a few minutes, few seconds, I should say. Voilà. Et voilà. I hope you all had a great week. So nous sommes jeudi. Jeudi means Thursday in French. Voilà. Cornell, here you are. Yay!
Hello.
We are doing better and better
Hello.
each week. That's awesome. We're starting
Well,
to talk, so that's great. Yes.
okay.
Happy to
So
see
you're
you.
saying that I looked horrible the previous weeks then?
I waited for you not to say it, right? So that's great. Yes. No, I won't dare think that. You always look great. So thank you for joining again. That was awesome. So what an amazing week and what an amazing first day. I just flew 3 different cities and 2 continents here, and I'm
Wow.
right back now in France. So I'm so excited to be zooming you guys from here. And
Oh, okay.
yes, it was a great trip, very always different. I traveled this time with Iberia, was great. Went to Madrid. I posted some things
Yes, yes.
for you to
I saw
guess.
those very appetizing pictures. Was that the duty free that you were at?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
and yeah, transiting between the plane, right? And yeah, it was just for breakfast. It's like, hey, why not?
Mm. Yeah. I mean, actually, it made me hungry. I haven't even eaten yet, so I was looking at those as I was preparing for this. I was like, man, that looked
Yes,
really good.
yes, that was very interesting to see that in the morning, right? Early in the morning where you barely had sleep, right? It's like, okay.
Yes.
So yeah, very excited to be able to be here with all of you. And even though I just have obviously some jet lag and so on, but the great news is, visualize it, be ready mentally. That's when I say by visualizing it that you'll be traveling, be ready to change. And I have a couple of jokes to share with you. When I got here, so basically I met with a friend to a cafe place and cafe restaurant, right? And so we got here at 2 p.m.
Mm.
And I do know that here it's usually they stop maybe serving around 1:30, so it's good to know that. So 2 p.m. we are Googling where it's open, if there is anything open, right? So I'm
Right.
finding a place and it says 11:30 a.m. and then dash 7:30 p.m.
Ah.
So I'm like, great, it says open. So I'm going there. We are going there. So my friend says, are you still serving food? And I'm thinking, sure they are. It says from 7:30 a.m. I mean 11:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. And she says, no, actually we stopped serving lunch. And I was like, oh, but it says right there on the
The
on the
sign. Yeah.
app, yeah, on the internet, it says until 7:30 p.m. And she says, no, but that's 11:30 for lunch and then 7:30 for dinner.
Oh. So that's not open continuously. Those are just the two
Yeah.
times that there's.
Yes. Yeah, very interesting. And then the funny thing too is that the restaurant was open. So I almost went to sit down, I didn't see the
So
lady
it's like,
there.
so
So
so you're open, you're a restaurant, but you're not serving food
that's
until
right.
7. So what are you open for
Yes,
conversation?
yes, exactly. So it's good to know, you have to be very flexible. Because I usually when you go to the internet you see 11:30, right, whatever time slash 7:30 p.m. You think,
Right.
okay,
That
that's
means from this
yes,
time to that time.
exactement.
That's usually how I would interpret it.
Exactement, yeah, and I did too. And but just remember, I just flew today, and maybe tomorrow I will think twice about it. But it's like, okay, well, so that was very funny and so very interesting, right? And then so obviously we had to go to somewhere else, and then the next place we went, it was more like a bar cafe, but it's a nice one.
Mm.
And we also asked if they still serve food. Obviously, it was open, and the lady says, "Well, let me ask the chef." So I'm like, "Okay, we're not sure we're going to have food, right?" And so they offered to. They had one plat du jour, right?
Mm.
And what was left was a couscous. And so
Okay.
obviously, it was great because I love couscous, right? And so we're having couscous, and then I just decided to go and wash my hands to the bathroom. And so I have to grab the key, inside the restaurant. So that's pretty interesting. And so inside the toilet, you cannot even lock yourself. So you have to take the key again to lock you.
Oh my goodness.
I thought it was just such a great change from one place to another, right? On the same day. So you're like, okay, you gotta get used to.
Adventures in dining.
Yes, I want to, yeah, exactement. And that's what I thought, it would be nice to share.
Okay,
This is
so
what happened.
just by way of inquiry, so plat du jour, that's a plate of the day.
Yes, yes, indeed. So every day the restaurant has plat du jour, right? And that's usually what works. Many people want to have plat du jour versus la carte, right?
Right.
So, this is what they had left, and we're pretty happy. Plus, they served us quite a bit because they had,
Ah,
some left. So it was
okay.
very good. But I thought, the bathroom and the other restaurants, and not sure if they are still serving food. And so you have to really adjust,
Yes.
and the same
Yes.
day, just let it go. And that's what I want to say. And today we're going to do c'est la vie, right?
Mm.
And I thought that would be really c'est la vie, indeed, you changing from
Well,
one
c'est la vie.
country. Yes.
That's
Couldn't
what
do
it
more
is.
than that, right?
Yes. Yeah. Hey.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So I thought it was pretty funny. So, but again, it's no matter where you go, remember you go to a different countries, and so you have to be ready for whatever changes and be flexible and not expect, even though you
Yes.
are used
Yes.
to, like I told you from the time you are used to, and think, okay, well, it says open, and so you show it.
Right. Right. Right.
And again, it's villages here, and you have to adjust and be
Yes.
open-minded, right?
And interesting in terms of, and in keeping with our discussions of language and communication, literally, c'est la vie means this is life.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that the phrase means is so applicable to your anecdotes. I mean, okay, 11 to 7, but that doesn't mean that they're serving dinner. Oh well, c'est la vie. You know, that's life. That's, hey, that's the way it goes.
Exactly. I mean, how much can you argue with the chef of the restaurant, right?
Right.
And the owner, right? Either way. So, I mean, okay, that's what it means. Okay, great to know.
Exactly. I thought it meant something different. Well, that's not what it means here. Oh well, c'est la vie. Nothing I can do about it. That's life.
I know, I know. Oh, it's just so funny. And then here I'm going to the next place, and so we're asking if they still have food, and oh my gosh, and then the
let's make
bathroom, I have to
let's
get
make
the
sure this
key.
time. By the way, you are serving food now, right? Just being sure.
I know. And they're like, hold on, we have to talk to the chef if they
You're like,
still
oh
have
no,
food.
wait a
Yeah,
minute, not again.
that's what she did. Yeah. So she went to the chef, and they said, yeah, we have couscous left. Like, okay, great, we take it.
Okay. See, that's very different from here in the United States, where it's, all food all the time, open 24 hours, whatever you want, and it's just like, we have what we have. If we've got anything left, that's what you've got.
Exactement.
What's on the menu? No, the menu. No, you have the plat du jour. That's, if you want that, you can eat that.
If you and you should be very happy about it,
Exactly.
that you get something left.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, and
we've
that's the
got any
culture.
food.
Yes, and it's so true, and it's cultural too. I mean, here
Yes.
in the U.S., I mean, we are just used to have it whenever we need it,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
And
you
here
can
you
go
kind
at
of
two
have to
o'clock in the
be
morning, and if you want a steak and scrambled eggs, you can have that right now, simply
exactement,
because you want it.
pretty much, yeah.
Where and nobody ever says, oh, although that isn't true, because I've been to some, again,
Yeah.
smaller restaurants and diners, not a big chain, where there's like, oh well, unfortunately we're out of that right
Hmm.
now. We don't have that. which is kind of cool. So, the typical American, I don't want to drag the typical American, but they are who they are,
Mm-hmm.
and they know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
They, oh, what are you talking about? I want, blah. But see, to me, that doesn't say, oh, why don't they have the thing that I want? Darn
Mm-hmm.
it. It's like, no, it means that what they have is
Mm-hmm.
fresh
Mm-hmm.
because they have as much as they have. And
Mm-hmm.
when they've sold it all, that's all they've got today.
Mm-hmm.
They don't
Mm-hmm.
have an endless stock of it, which they're taking out of a freezer and thawing out. It's like, no, this is what we got. And then we think that that's going to be enough for the day. Sometimes we have a little bit left over, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's popular. Everybody wants that, and we don't have anymore
Et
because we
voilà.
sold all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactement. Yeah, so.
And I would rather that. I would rather eat the fresh stuff you have left
Mm-hmm.
than to eat stuff you have left over
That's right.
because it's from 2, 3 days ago.
Exactement.
That
Yes.
I
And that's
don't
why we
want
call it
that.
plat du jour because it's made on that same
Yes,
day. And like you said,
yes,
it's not from la carte. And
right.
so, I've all of that just like, okay, great. Yeah, I just left America and back to Europe. So be flexible. And
It's like, wait, gotta adjust my culture clock.
I'm like, okay. I got, so even for me that I'm used to it, especially on the first few days, you gotta, it's,
Yes,
it's, it's a different approach. It's not like you can demand, like you will have it because that's what it is. But here
right.
it's more like, it's almost like, okay, you go into a restaurant, but you're almost like, not begging, but like, would you still serve food, please? It's like, so, yeah, so I
If it
thought,
wouldn't be too much trouble, could I perhaps request that you serve some food to this day? Just inquiring.
yeah.
Just inquiring. Don't want to put you out or anything.
Oh my God. And so I was like, yeah, definitely, c'est la vie. So,
That's
oh, it
quite
was such a
quite
good,
appropriate.
yes. I thought to even write about it. It's just so funny. Yeah. But it's what it is. And we got to take
Yes.
it as it comes.
Well, you should. You should. I will just say this. Remember, my phrase for the year is roar and soar
Uh-huh.
in 24.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about things, just think about it. We have so many things that we say to ourselves, "Oh, that would be a good idea." And you know
Mm-hmm.
what? It is a good idea. But
Mm-hmm.
where does it remain? It stays up here.
Exactement.
We don't
Yeah.
do anything. So don't think about writing. And here's the thing. I will say this as someone who writes professionally.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about getting it perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Don't write
C'est vrai.
for an audience. Don't write so that it will be, just write it
Exactement.
so that it's out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because if there's one person that reads it and is affected by it, they
Mm-hmm.
can't read it if it's up here unless they can read your mind. And that would be a scary thing if they actually could.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactement. Yeah, very good. Yeah, we got to do that. That's awesome. Très bien. So I'm so excited to be back and to be able to be here, even though I just travel. And thank you for being here. Also, I know it's snowing in New York, right? La neige, beaucoup
Yeah,
de
well,
neige,
actually,
un
it
petit peu,
stopped. It was just a
un
little dusting,
petit peu de
which is
neige. Yeah.
fortunate, but there's some snow on top of the
Okay.
cars. There's hopefully not too much ice on the ground. I do have to go out and travel around Manhattan after this session here, and but I was actually surprised when I got up actually what woke me up a couple of days ago
Mm-hmm.
was the sound of the snow being shoveled off of the
Oh,
sidewalk
wow.
and the steps. And I was like, wait a minute. So I opened it, it's like, it snowed. Holy cow. Because
And that's
it
when you
just
knew it
doesn't do
snowed.
that anymore.
Wow.
Now, when I was a wee one, I remember that every winter it would start in around
Mm-hmm.
December, and there would be snow on the ground until around February. And sometimes the
Wow.
banks of snow, when they would shovel it off the streets and the sidewalks, would be taller than me
Mm-hmm.
as a child of 8 or 9 years old or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it was something because of course, we didn't drive. We didn't have to worry about the streets being plowed, scraping the snow off the windshield, or getting out of a parking space or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So snow to us was fun. And of course, as a kid, if it snowed so much that you got a snow day from school,
Ah,
that was like a little mini vacation. So we weren't
yeah,
complaining about that.
bien
Of
sûr.
course, you get to be an adult, and then it's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I got to walk 5 blocks to the subway. I hope I don't get mud on the bottom of my
Mm-hmm.
pants, and hope I don't
Mm-hmm.
slip. Especially, I'm still in good health, but I'm an older guy. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to slip and fall. The bones are not as they're a little more tender than they used to be, and it's just annoying
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because
Bien
it's not like,
sûr.
oh wow,
Yeah.
snow. Let's
But I
do a
mean,
snowball
in
fight.
New
It's
York,
like,
New York City is kind of rare too, right?
yeah,
It stays there.
yes.
Yeah.
Nowadays, the fact that, like I said, I was surprised when I heard them shoveling the snow. because
Mm-hmm.
that meant it's like, wait, that much snow accumulated that they've got the shovels out?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Because
that's
I
impressive.
saw the
Yes.
forecast and it's like, yeah, it's gonna dust a little bit.
Yeah.
It'll all be melted within 2 or 3 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind
But
of fun
no,
because it's not like you have it often. So it's like,
yeah.
wow, it's
But
white today.
hey,
It's like, wow.
then what can I
I
say?
didn't
C'est
even
la
know
vie.
it. Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, très bien. Très, très bien. So, merci, Cornell. You all have
Yeah.
une bonne semaine until next Thursday. Very exciting. And make sure you
Okay.
come live
Okay.
and join us and put any
And though they're
comments.
bon semaine, have a good week.
Voilà, exactement. Bonne semaine. And make sure to put any comments. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate as well. And we keep
Yes.
going with conversation and
Yes.
more to come. And this time will be France and New York for now.
Exactly. And wherever you are, stay warm, stay safe, stay healthy, and, bonne chance.
Merci beaucoup. Et vous aussi. À bientôt.
À
À
bientôt. Ciao, ciao.
bientôt.